This project came to life back in August, and I got a phone call from Lori Meadows, who's the executive director at the Kentucky Arts Council, and she said, "Jennifer, I've got a project I think is just perfect for you." And she said, every year the governor's office selects an artist to create an ornament for the Christmas tree. But she said this year the National Park Service is wanting an arts educator to work with a group of students in the school to create 26 ornaments for the Kentucky tree as part of the National Christmas Tree Ceremony. And there are, from what I understand, besides the big national tree, there are 52 additional Christmas trees to represent the 50 states and 2 territories. And the National Park Service, through the governor's office in each state, selects someone to create those ornaments. And this year for Kentucky, it was me. And so I'm working with my 7th and 8th grade students here at Good Shepherd School to make the ornaments to take there.
I like that. Now, one thing you need to remember is
the design is, it represents an angel, a guardian angel. Now I put my own spin on it because I work in gourds. I create sculpture, figurative sculpture with gourds. And I wanted it to be Jennifer Zingg. I wanted it to be something that you would equate with my work, but I wanted it to be unique. And I wanted it to represent our school and what we've been going through. And for the last year, we've been transitioning to our new location. We've left our old school, and actually our school was torn down. And to move to our new location was a really big thing. And for the children, and our church downtown was decommissioned. So we pray the guardian angel prayer, just to watch over us through this time of transition, to bring us through it, you know. And so to the children, that was an important thing for them, is to take their ornament to DC and it represent them. And they thought the guardian angel did that the best.
She came up with the idea of these ornaments are called Gordian angels instead of guardian angels. So they're partly made of gourd and partly made of plastic. And the idea is the angels dressed to be in the form of a Kentucky quilt pattern.
It reminds me of, because Miss Zingg likes to work with gourds a lot, and it reminds me of her. And it makes me feel like our angels are sort of watching over the United States when they're up on the Christmas tree.
The children had some freedom there as far as designing their own patterns, and they cut out all the pieces and did all the gluing and the color coordinating and that kind of thing. So we have a very Kentucky ornament in that it does have gourds, which are thought of a lot of times with Kentucky folk art and craft. And then we have the quilt pattern, and our angel. The idea behind the project for me was to involve my students in a project that from the beginning to the end was a major process. I wanted them to see where work can get them. If they start out with something small, they put good work into it, they are meticulous about what they do, and they care about what they're creating, that they can do great things. I mean, I think that crosses over into all the things they do then, just that work ethic. And my hope is that some of them will get to go to Washington, D.C. and see the ornament on the tree. And I think for a lot of them that would be a great finality. I think to be able to start with this plastic orb and not really understanding what we're doing. You know, what? We're doing ornaments for the tree? Whatever, Ms. Zingg, you know. To then go to Washington, D.C. and experience that celebration, I think that would be a really pivotal thing for a lot of these children in their education.
It makes me feel really good that that I get to do art and the president gets to see it, but it also makes me kind of nervous because I want to make it perfect for him. About the angels, I think that they are very special and explain our school very well because in our school we try to be helpful to all of our communities in the United States. I think that our angels explain that very well.
Makes me feel pretty special, pretty honored to have this project going on. our school being chosen to do something this big. I think it represents not only Good Shepherd, but Kentucky in a really big way, because we're not only representing our school and our state, but our nation too.
Maybe add a train. I wish every child could have this kind of experience, this kind of creative experience. You know, I've got this quote in there on the display that I set up today of some of the other students' artwork, and I love it. It's by Albert Einstein. It says, "Imagination is better than knowledge, because knowledge is limited, but imagination encircles the world." And you know, art is important in our education system for these kids, not to make artists. It's important because it develops their imagination, develops their creativity. It instills confidence in children to express their ideas. And it's ideas, whether they're artistic or whether they're mathematic. You know, it's making the whole child.